Evening all. How is everybody tonight? I can see a few of you already in. John, James, good evening chaps. Anybody else out there? Say hello in the old chatteroony. Obviously hit that like button as well. Get those likes pumping. So we're back on with the old painting and chatting tonight. After last week's terrible heat wave where I couldn't even get up into the war room, into the loft. Me and Tiny are back up here now, happy as Larry. I thought I'd build some Panzer IIIs tonight. A couple of other things. Evening Terry. Last week was a bit quiet on the old painting front just because of that heat wave, because I couldn't really get into the loft to do anything, so I only completed a building and a couple of the bits and pieces, nothing much else. Evening Kevin, evening friends of General Haig. Andy, how are you doing? Don't forget everyone, hit the like button. And so yeah, I thought I've been trying to work out what to paint next, and I've had these Panzer IIIs on the desk for at least about a year, I think. They were sent to me by Richard Naylor over on Twitter. I've got one here that is partially built, and the reason I'm not doing anything on this one is because it is I'm doing it as a video, a build and paint video, so I'm just doing that one separately. I've already done. I started. Shaco said you ended up playing Panzerkorn last week. Excellent. I've also started work on the Prussians for Blucher as well. So I've got these 3 at the moment. I've got no connection. Back to the connection. There we go. Sorry if you missed all that. Looks like I've got a bit of a ropey connection tonight, but there you go. I've got the so far this week I've painted 1 Panzer III, and then also 2 brigades of Prussians for Blucher. So I've got, what have I got here? I think this is the 19th Infantry Regiment, and I've also got here the 1st Westphalian Landwehr, and you can see here as well I've also got another Landwehr unit. So I'm just going to finish this off first of all. It won't take very long, there's not much to do on it. It's just a bit of static grass and not much else really. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to start work on putting the last 3 Panzer IIIs together. So that's what tonight's plan is. How far we get from that I don't know. We'll see what happens. Alright, so what's everyone painting tonight? Hit the like button. You know the drill, kids. Right, so first up, we're going to go with a little bit of the old glue, PVA glue for the static grass. Last week was holiday time, so hobby time will restart with more Perry Wars of the Roses. Excellent. Evening, Carl. Good to have you on board. I don't know if anybody was watching last week's stream and watched the game I was playing. If you enjoyed it, it's a fun old game. Is Wars Across the World. It was a bit of a nice break as well, just to, let's say, get out of the horror of the loft as was. And I've already got paint glue where I don't want it. Never mind. So I'm just going to put static grass on these. What I normally do is, this is quite an old school way of painting these bases, so I kind of paint them in PVA and glue, and then paint them in intermediate green by Vallejo, ink wash them with flat earth, thin down by Vallejo, and then dry brush them with yellow, and then just add a bit little patches of static grass and some grass tufts, but I don't have any grass tufts at the moment, or any small ones anyway, so I can't do anything with those at the moment. So let's just do this in so you can see what we're all doing. James says you're highlighting British for O Group. Excellent, good stuff. Nearly done. Are you coming down the club on Thursday, James? We're playing O Group down there. John says, of course, it's only 2:30 this side of the pond, so this is your entertainers as you work. Good stuff. Glad to be of service. Terry, you are currently painting 1703 HMS Surprise for Kiss Me Hardy. Excellent. It's good fun, Kiss Me Hardy. I'm not a big naval gamer, but I had fun when I played Kiss Me Hardy. Painting 15mm Seleucid command bases and prepping a unit of French for blood and plunder. Okay. Exciting stuff. Let me just get the label for this base. I can get them glued on, and that's the third one of those. Unfortunately, I've just run out of bases for Blucher, so I can't actually do any more of the figures at the moment. Paul at the club had printed a load off for me, and I've just not touched them for almost a year, in fact, I think. So I thought, right, now's the time to start these. They've been sat there for long enough. Let's just get on with them, bite the bullet. And there's 62 of these bases to do for the entire Prussian army. So that will be fun. I don't think it's going to get finished anytime soon, but it will be finished at some point. You might pop down, don't have any plans, just watch a few games. Well, you can come and watch us play an O group if you want. There's already 4 players, unfortunately, for it. Just fired up, or watered up, the wet palette of some 1898 minis. TYW. 30 Years War. Took me a second. 30 Years War. There you go. So that's another Blucher base done. That's the second Westphalian Landwehr. As I said, there's not much point in me starting any more Landwehr at the moment because I haven't got the bases for them. But I just bought 30 quid's worth of bases from Evening Walkabout Games. Good to have you on board. I just bought 30 quid's worth of bases from Sally Forth. They do these specific Blucher ones, and I printed out a load of base labels the other day as well. I finally sat down and did them. Just took an hour or so to work them out, just based on the old French ones that I've got. Right then, okay. Evening, Richard. Don't forget, folks, hit that like button if you're liking what you're seeing. I also in the post today, not very nicely from Red Dog UK. I got some stowage. They do some lovely stowage. I wish I'd found they're really nice. It's resin stuff, so you just have to snip it out. But it looks fantastic on the vehicles. Unfortunately, I bought some before, but I can't. No idea where I put it. It's just gone somewhere, and I've got no idea where it ended up. I'm gonna take these decals out and keep them to one side so I don't lose them, because these are the ones the reason I didn't start those Panzer IIIs before is because for ages, because they're the Plastic Soldier Company ones, you get about 5 different marks in them, and I've been puzzling over what to do. Evening Ian, don't worry about being late. You arrive when you arrive. And I just didn't know what marks to do them with, so I checked out which ones I'd already got, and I'd not got any Panzer IVJs, strangely enough, which was the most numerous. Panzer IIIJs, which was the most numerous of the marks. So I thought, right, well, there you go, 5 Panzer IVJs done and dusted, dead easy. So they can be used on the Russian front. And today as well, I went down to Games Workshop and I actually got, or Warhammer as it's called now, and I got some of the new shade Null Noil. I got 2 Null Noils and I got 2 Agrax. So I've seen everybody going mad about it. Stowage, get a 3D printer, drop you a line. I would get a 3D printer, but I ain't got 300 quid to spare. Evening, Aled. I'll drop you a line, Richard, or drop me a line. I don't know what your email address is. And I used the Null Noil on the Panzer III here, and it's not as strong as it used to be, but it still goes into the crevices and the cracks and things. So it looks like for panel lining, it looks like it's going to work pretty well, I think. I can't see a major difference between that, especially when it gets dry brushed. But yeah, I love a bit of stowage. So I'm just going to get all the basic stuff off these first of all, these sprues. So hopefully it's not going to make too much noise, but we'll see. This kind of takes me back to my very first live stream. I was building tanks, and I was expecting nobody to turn up. I was even sat listening to a podcast on my earphones, and I noticed people started turning up. Evening, Steve. Just saw you pop up there. What we're saying? Oh, you could get You could print Stowage. Oh yes, that's a good point, James. You could be selling it down the club, hawking your wares. Do you prefer GW shades over Army Painter? Yes, I do, because I've got a couple of the old Army Painter ones, sort of strong tone and stuff. I just prefer Agrax and Null Oil. I just think they're well, until they changed the formula just now, they were the best ones on the market. I don't know what they're like now, because I literally just bought them, and I've seen mixed reviews. But you always see mixed reviews of everything that's Games Workshop wise, isn't it? Really. You started using your own washers again because the companies keep changing formulas. Yeah, I guess with 15mm it doesn't really matter massively. And the guy, I was talking to the guy in Warhammer about it, and he was saying that they act more like a proper wash, where they don't actually pool on the figures anymore, so they're a lot easier to use, and there's no messing. So I'm going to be interested to see what they turn out like when it comes to them. Do you know what I've been doing? I put the wrong mantlet on the other ones that I've got. Damn it. Oh well. Only person that'll notice is me. Never mind. They're obscure versions. You stocked up on a bunch of the old GWOs in the clearance sale, started using Vallejo now. Yeah, I've not used the Vallejo ones, which is surprising because I use a lot of Vallejo paint. But it's about the only paint I use. Well, 90% of the paint I use is Vallejo. That's a bit annoying. That I just realised I've got the wrong mantle on the things, but never mind. It's a nerdy thing, and I'll live. Don't mind too much. So we've got 21 people watching, 9 likes. Hit that like button, folks, and also say hello in the comments. Let me know you're out there and what you're working on, if you're working on anything on this nice evening. So yeah, I figured with the Panzer IIIs, I'll just get them done, get them out of the way. They've been sat there for such a long time that it's just time to do something with them at least. And that's what tonight's all about. And it's my main thing for this week until the bases turn up for Blucher. Hi there, Tony. Morning evening to you all, just joined in. What models am I working on? Panzer IIIs, Tony. Plastic Soldier Company's Panzer IIIs. Evening J-Max Armies of Middle Earth. Hiya to you as well. These are ones I've just had sat around for a long time. So I thought, let's do a bit of work on these, get them out of the way. They only need, just need putting together, so that's what I'm doing tonight, nice and simple. 10mm Lord of the Rings, fair enough. You're not working on anything tonight? Eating lunch and listening, good stuff. You're working on your 10mm World War II for O Group and Rommel, excellent. Really enjoyed the recent Check Your Leader O Group content. Yeah, I was watching his stuff as well, it's pretty good. Good videos. It's nice to see somebody else is producing O Group videos. I know there's a few out there, but there's not a huge amount because it's such a good game. Good game. But yeah, sometimes these things they just break up annoyingly. But yeah, well, it is what it is. Back in the day with my own washes, we just paint and water. Yeah, I did as well. But then, you know, somebody produced them so I could buy them, so I did. That's the easy way, just throw money at it, as far as I'm concerned. So look, is there any more on there that I need off? Oh yes, the doors for the side parts. There's a hell of a lot of pieces on these Plastic Soldier Company vehicles, but they're very nice and very nicely detailed as well with it. Where are we at? Where are we at? You're all going too fast. Just built a 15mm Lutherium seminary for Gettysburg. It's huge. Going to try out Dave Brown's Pickett's charge rules. Oh, okay, interesting. That's what you do with 10mm ACW. Tonight I'm printing a sci-fi skelly bobs for some pals and painting 28mm moderns. Good stuff. Evening, Doug. I've been using oils for washes of late. Currently working on the Cursed City Bad Guys. Right. I too made my own now with matte medium and flow improver and ink. Works well. Good. And Andy says he's sorry he's late. Well, it's not good enough, Andy. It's simply not good enough. No, I'm joking, of course. Join when you join. It doesn't matter. A big project 15mm. Never tried Dave Brown's rules. I'm sure. Well, if they're anything like old group, they'll be good. I've played a game of Dave Brown's General d'Armée. They were good. And I saw that James was playing it as well the other week, and it looked good. At least I enjoyed it anyway. That's the most important thing. One kit, 4 different tanks. Yeah, that's Plastic Soldier Company for you. It's very confusing, the amount of just deciding which mark you're going to do. That's the problem. I've got some of these I've got later, like some of the L's and the N's and the M's. Oil washers are rocking your world. You're working on 15mm sandbag emplacements and MDF buildings. Good stuff. And people use oils for washings. They're the only problems with varnish. I don't think I have, Andy. I think with oil washers you're better off varnishing in gloss first, because it's got a nice solid coat to it, which doesn't allow the wash to get into it like matte does. Matte has got like a bumpy coat to it. So then varnishing gloss, and then use your wash, and then straight after that matte varnish it when you've finished all your washing and stuff. That's what I would think anyway, at least on buildings, if nothing else. Are there any horse experts in? You want to confirm the definition of piebald. Is it just black and white patches, or does it include brown and pie? I don't know. If anybody else has got the answer. Tonight you're working on last year Bastille ships from Armada. Okay, so I've done on your table for weeks. Yeah, try and finish them, get them done. And Thomas says PS2 does some easy models. Yeah, they are. They're lovely kits. And there's so much. It's just a shame not to use everything on the kit. But I don't know. It's it's either choice or buy more kits, isn't it? I guess. Do I have 1/72? No, everything I've got from PSC is 15mm, which is also great for skirmish gaming. Because I use them in my skirmish gaming. I use Colour Forge matte today, no problems. Black, brown, and grey. Piebald and skewbald is way too advanced for me. 3 coats. There must be a. I'm sure there'll be like a horse description somewhere online. Didn't Henry Hyde do one in one of his? I think he's got one in one of his original Wargaming book. Evening, Paul. Good to have you on board. Good evening from a stormy Virginia. You reversed the tracks on 2 Panzer IIs last week, all based in Deco now. Good stuff. Nice. So I'm just going to try and get these built tonight. I think that's my main goal. We'll see how we get on. If I can get all 3 of them done. I'm slightly annoyed about that mantlet on the other 2, but unless there's a real tank nerd looking at it, nobody will notice. I'm fairly sure. Lovely kit when the right kid turns up. He's still bitter about that. Does Lockie's Great Hall not cover it? So was anybody watching the Plastic Crack podcast last night? I didn't watch it because you were name dropping. I was doing a podcast with the lad from Hobby Support Group HSG. Go and check them out on Facebook. They've got a Facebook page. I don't know when the episode will be out, but we were chatting for a good 90 minutes, just about various things. I was extolling the virtues of First World War wargaming as well. There is a horse colour guide in the nerd room. Okay, in the nerd room files. Well, maybe stick it in the if you could put it in the Storm of Steel group and tag Andy in it. I think that would be helpful, Bo. If you're in the Storm of Steel group, I'm not sure if you are, and if you're not, why not? What's your email? Happy to pop a storage on for you. My email is stormofsteelwargaming@gmail.com. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. That'll be great. So I love a bit of stowage. It really brings a vehicle together, and combat vehicles are always covered in it. It just adds a nice splash of colour as well to stuff like olive drab or German grey. It's just nice to have a few different colours. Let's have a look, Terry's where we're at. Blimey. Taking the decision to go totally 15mm to use terrain and models crossover. Good man, allied claims of war and order change command to give it a go. Good man indeed. You're on the right track. You're working on some 10mm US engineers and Russian 76 guns. Excellent. Piebald horses have large irregular patches of black and white on their coats. Skyball have a combination of white and another colour, typically brown, chestnut or bay. Ken was on good form, was he? You're trying so hard not to get dragged into our group. Well, you keep watching my videos, you'll probably end up there eventually. You've stowaged up your showmans, so they almost topple over. Good. That's why they need bases, James. And stowage maketh the model, indeed it does. I'm trying to whittle down the collection to something manageable. Well, that's easily done with O group, because you only need a battalion's worth of figures. Per whichever armies you're doing. It's not a huge undertaking really. It's about, if you didn't do any of the extras, it'd be about 81 figures per army. Probably a few more, I'd say. Probably up to 150 if you've got a load of supports like guns and things. But not a massive undertaking really. And if you've already got them anyway based, you're halfway there, because you can use any bases you like. Makes no difference. Evening Martin, good to have you on board. Everyone is well, I think. Hope everyone's well at your end. Friends says, thanks John, James and Paul. Alex's comment about Henry's book spouts an idea and checked Quarry's Napoleonic campaigns. I used to get that out to the library back in the day. Confirms what Karen Terry says. Piebald is black and white, Screwball brown. There you go. Everybody is better, has a better knowledge of horse colours now. Every day is a school day. What are you saying, James? Roll out the red carpet for the YouTube celebrity seventh son. Indeed. We had Rich from Two Fat Lardies in a couple of weeks ago. Obviously the word is getting out. The celebrities are gathering. We just need the lads from Little Wars next. Well, we've had Miles in here once in a while. You've got lots of 10mm World War II, so that's your choice for real good. Yeah, the 10mm stuff that I've seen looks lovely. Like, is it Victrix or are they 12mm? No, Pendragon, isn't it? They're doing the 10mm stuff. And if I didn't have, I say it all the time, but if I didn't have my body weight in 15mm already, I'd probably go down that route myself, especially for stuff like O Group. It's just because I had all my stuff was already done for rapid fire, which essentially is supposed to be 20mm, but I just did it all in 15mm because I'm cheap like that. And there was a shop nearby that was selling Peter Pig stuff, so it was it's almost like having grown, you know, back in the day it was like having grown up stuff, having metal figures over the plastic ones. Otherwise nowadays I'd probably just get a load of Airfix figures in 20mm, or 22mm, or 1/72 6, whatever they're deciding to call it these days. Right, where's my glue gone? Where's my glue gone? Do you have any tips on how to make 15mm World War II miniatures faces look as detailed as 28mm? Don't. That's my tip. Don't bother. It's a different scale. It's different, you know. All I do is I'll paint them in a base colour. I'll then drop Agrax Earthshade all over them, and then just repaint highlights in the base colour. Don't even bother. There's no point with 15mm with faces and stuff, because 3 foot away on the table you can't see it, so why bother? I mean, there are people that do it, but I don't see the point. You know, you can't, once you've moved them away from your face when you're painting them, you can't even see them. So I don't bother. Ooh, Kraken awakes. Oh no, she's just turning over. Trying to resist 15mm World War II at the moment. Would probably use rapid fire or chain of command. Old group call. Never mind rapid fire. It's a bit old school these days. There's too many scales these days. Or I Am Being Shot Mum as well is good in 15mm for World War II. Great one. There's too many scales these days. 3mm, 6mm, 10mm, 12mm, 15mm, and so on and so on. Never mind the variations in size. Yeah. Find the one you like and play with it. Base wash, highlight with base. Done. There you go. A man after my own heart. Martin, yes, you do get a badge. You get a participant's badge. You get a well done for turning up badge. Don't forget, folks, hit that like button if you're liking it. Hit the dislike button if you don't like it. I don't really mind either way. Kev, you didn't watch PCP, but you watched Catched Up, as you do, as I'm having problems with your phone headset. Martin was on form, and so was Ken. There you go, you got some fans in, Martin. Second, third, that base, yeah. Nothing wrong with old school. Absolutely. Old school, new school, I didn't even go to school. If you can tell me where that comes from, then I'll buy you a pint. What do you say, Terry? Started to wash your 15mm faces with sepia or Vallejo beige red, and highlight the nose and cheeks with flat flesh. Yeah, that would work. For sure, that would work. But is it noticeable at gaming distance? Is the question you really need to ask yourself. And I don't think it is. But whatever works. They're such nice fits, these Plastic Soldier Company vehicles. They go together so lovely. They do take a little while to build. But I enjoy it though. I enjoy the building process. It doesn't bother me. Because I used to be a military model. Well, I still am a military model. It's what I started before Wargaming. Have you seen those 28mm World War II minis from Michigan Toy Soldier Company that has the giant heads? No, I haven't seen those. The resin printed, featured for a brief second. No, I didn't see them. I didn't notice them. Are they good? Or they just go with giant heads? And you paint your Brunswickers with a green trouser stripe. Yeah, me too. I've got that trouser stripe on those Brunswicks. You cannot see it, but there you go. Bobbleheads. Ridiculous. Who else we go? What are you saying? You agree on the 3 foot rule. Any closer you get a pike up your nose. Exactly, John. Exactly. You'll be laying across the table if you get close enough. So this one's taken me what, nearly half an hour to build one. I've got 3 to do. So I think that's what we're going to be doing tonight. That's where we're aiming for this evening. If there's more people out there in the chat who haven't said hello yet, do say hello. You can see there's quite a few of you watching. So give us a shout out. Just let us know what you're building or painting or not even painting. The miniatures look good and the head isn't out of proportion. Okay, I'll have a look at the I'd only watched half of the Little Wars Historicon thing earlier on, so I'll watch the rest of it later, so it might be I may have missed them, but I'll have a look out for them again when I tune back in. It was good what I saw of it. Historicon looks fantastic. It'd be well worth going to, just to go to once at least, I think. I bet it's a good laugh. Solvent of Use. Hi to you. Hey, Andy's here. Evening, Alex. Hope you're well. Bloody peasants tonight. I hope that you're not talking about the people watching the stream, Andy. Good to have you on board, though. Everybody should go out and check out Firepower Gaming. Go and check his channel, and then also hit that subscribe button. He's put a video out today about peasants, which is what he's talking about. See, I'll let you off the hook there, Andrew. You know, you got the old group half tracks to do before 7th for the Northern Crack 1 point. Northern Crack 1, 16 of them. Okay, cool. Currently deployed in Africa. Been away from the hobby for almost a year, but back soon. That's from Alex. Whereabouts in Africa? Big old place is Africa. It's a good place as well. Interesting seeing somebody watching from Africa, though. Last time I was in Africa, I shot an elephant in my pyjamas. What he was doing in my pyjamas, I'll never know. This is what you come here for, isn't it? The Marx Brothers content. Nothing else. I'm sure some of the older folks in the audience probably know what that's from. Some of these bits are pretty fiddly, but they do look good. Got here as quick as I could. Thanks for the shout out. No worries, Andrew. No worries for getting here as quick as you could. Don't worry about it. You can always watch it on the catch up. It's all good. It's very busy this evening. Grown. Hey, don't blame me. Blame Captain Spaulding. I didn't come up with it. Ah, bum, I forgot to put those things on. You got pizza box stacked up 8 feet high, full of Core Commander base 6mm units. Currently the Horn of Africa in Djibouti. Wow, that's interesting. Yeah. Major Jenny's dog was like his joke back. Greetings from Kuala Lumpur. Wow. It's like travelling the world tonight. I was going to go up to Malaysia when I was in. I worked in Singapore for a while as a unexploded bomb technician, and that's another story. And I was going to go up to Malaysia. I wish I had done now. I just ended up leaving instead. I should have really gone. I wouldn't mind have gone to see Kuala Lumpur. I've never been to Djibouti, but I've been to Tanzania and Kenya, and where else? South Africa, and the one that next to South Africa, which I can never remember, is Lesotho, and North Africa as well. I've been to Morocco. I've never been to Djibouti. Is it nice? Is Djibouti nice? In darkest Glasgow. Well, I've certainly been to Glasgow, Richard. And that was on my way up to St Kilda. That is a nice little spot. YouTube has appointed a new creator advocate, Rennie Ritchie, who has a tech channel. Have the YouTubers seen anything about that? No. Expand on that one. New creator advocate. There's a tech channel. No, I don't know. Don't know anything about that. Tell us more about it. I'll have to have a look. I usually ignore a lot of the YouTube stuff, you know, like the stuff that's on the home page. I don't pay much attention to it. Perhaps I should. Yeah, I'm a little annoyed with myself for getting that bloody gun mantlet wrong. I shouldn't be, but here we are. You watched PCP last night? All great till they said crack on tickets left. And Marie made me buy her a ticket. She wants to see what Wargaming is all about. Excellent. Good stuff. Are there no Wargaming groups close by yet, Alan, that you could take her to? No. Either way, I'm sure she'll have fun. Pizza box pallet is criminally underrated. I've been around a lot. Yeah, with work mostly. Djibouti is a steam bath. It's dry slow. Yeah, Morocco is nice, but I didn't really get the best out of it, I don't think. We got burnt a couple of times. We were supposed to do a trek in the Sahara. Well, we did do a trek in the Sahara, but it pissed it down. It was like the yearly rains. You know, it never rains in the Sahara apart from the one time that I go. So for about 3 days we were just walking through rain. We obviously couldn't go anywhere or do anything. And then we were supposed to go up into the Atlas Mountains for a walk, and it snowed too heavy. I suppose that's the problem with going in November, isn't it, really? If you ever get a trip back to the UK sorted, I'll have to get organised around a CrackCon. Yeah, that would be good. There's also plenty of other shows as well to see, John. I would suggest either Salute or Partisan if you could make a trip then. What else we have? Yeah, CrackCon should be another cracking show, I think. Be good fun. I've still yet to decide what I'm going to put on at it. We'll see. I'll have a think about it. Maybe something easy. But then again, why do that? You interested in the island hopping during World War II? Have you played any 6mm games set in the Pacific? I haven't played any 6mm games in the Pacific Theatre, but I do have a bag full of US Marine Corps sitting behind me, ready to be painted for Chain of Command. And I want to try out Travis from Tabletop CP's Saipan pint-sized campaign. I've got a copy of it, and I've been meaning to jump into it for a long time. So Stu over at Miniature Realms did me some 3D prints of the US Marine Corps. So I've not done any. I did did island hopping stuff when I was a nipper, and I had a load of like Airfix and Matchbox figures, and did it then. Specifically did a specific Pacific board with little islands on it and stuff. It was completely ahistorical, but at least I tried it out, if nothing else. But I'm not doing it in 6mm. I don't think you can post a link, but Google Rennie Ritchie new job when you have a spare mo. Okay, I'll have a look. I know Wargaming is a minority interest, but your audience must add up at some level. Yeah, I guess so. I'll have a look. And walking in the rain, just like being at home, I know, tell me about it. And I got the shits as well, which wasn't great. Are the shows in the UK still mainly demo games? No. I'm used to US shows these days, where every game is a participation and out. They're different. They're different in that what happened. There are lots and lots of participation games, but most of the games are geared to playing the game in about half an hour. And there's loads of demo games, of course, but also the participation games are usually like a half-hour thing, so it wouldn't be like at Historicon where you'd go and you'd spend all day just playing one game. You'd go and if you wanted to, you'd probably play about 3 games. because you just move around and go to different ones. So they're a bit more like tasters, so it's slightly different because they're more like UK shows are more like trade shows. So there's a lot more. There's a lot more for sale, I would have said, than what I've seen at the American shows. I could be wrong on that, but just the impression I get is there's a lot more traders at the UK ones than there is at American ones. And as I say, the games, you know, you're obviously able to play whatever you want, but you would expect a shorter period of gaming in a game. You wouldn't spend all day at it, at one particular game anyway. Is that what other people think? Is that other people's experiences of UK shows? And I'm just going. Obviously, I've never been to an American show, so I'm just going on what I've seen online and what people have said about them. +1 World War II Pacific. Yeah. What do you observe is the most popular scale in these WRT land battles? Hard to tell on the miniatures page. What's WRT mean? Tell me what that means and I'm happy to answer. You're currently working on 3mm Paleo Island for a set of World War II is currently designing. That'll be interesting. Andy, I've put some guides to horse colours in the file section. Excellent, brilliant. Thank you, Paul. Very much appreciated. That's good. See, there you go. Another. You could paint bay horses and dapple greys all day. Right. Okay, that's nearly one done. I'm going to do all the stowage separately because I like putting my stowage on. So I'm going to leave that till last. A little treat for myself, isn't it? Right, there's one. I'll keep the little bits of stowage to one side that came off that sprue. I might stick them on another tank. Try to mix it up a bit, like with spare wheels and things. You know. How was that taking me 40 minutes to do that? Bloody hell. Right. I don't know if I'm going to get them all done tonight. Unless I sped up. It's not helping that this Tamiya cement is not playing much with me tonight. What are we saying here? US shows I go to run Thursday night through Sunday morning with the 3-4 hour sessions of the Friday and Saturday. Yeah, it's like I say, very different in the UK. I don't think there are any UK shows that are 2 days anymore. Anyway, I think they're all 1 day affairs these days. Triples used to be a 2-dayer, but that died a death many years ago. So I don't know if the others are. I can't think of any that's a 2-dayer. There might be some out. I'm just not thinking of. With respect to internet language. What do you observe is the most popular scale these days with respect to land battles? I have no idea. I mean, my most popular one is 15mm, but talk to somebody else and they'll tell you something else. Depends what scale of game you're playing, really. I mean, 15mm is good for Second World War, I think, because it's a nice scale to fit a lot of figures on a 6x4 table, or something like Chain of Command. It says in the rules that the rules were originally, well, the ground scale is 15mm, and it works very well in 15mm compared to 28s. But then there's lots of people that play 28 bolt action, and that's obviously incredibly popular. So that also gets a vote as well, I'm sure. So yes, Attacker Devices is 2 days. There you go. Yeah, I thought there was one. I wasn't 100% sure. But how big is Attack? Is it a big show? Or is it quite a small one? A 2-day affair must be asking quite a lot, I would have thought. 15 to 28 depending on the rule set. Yeah. Warfare is 2 days. Only know as the Flames of War is over 2 days. Yeah, okay. Is it just that Flames of War section of it? Is it like a tournament part or something? Yeah, I don't think the ones in the north then are 2 days. Perhaps I should just clip everything out at once, but then it's all going to be cleaned up as well, so I'd rather just do it slowly. I keep breaking these, the cupola every time I'm clipping them. It's a bit annoying. You can't really see it, but I know it's there, and that's a problem. Triples, bring it back. We always talk about triples on these live streams. It was good, but apart from the last couple of years, it was my first forays into wargaming proper. So it has a bit of a special place in my heart. And then saddle with GHQ micro armor forward 2. No, that's good. Got chill con at least. That's true. GHQ micro armor's fine for the Second World War. There's plenty of rules for it. Again, everything from IMB Shotmum O group. They'd all work perfectly well in 6mm. I'd hazard a guess that even Flames of War would work pretty well in 6mm, to be honest. You'd be able to have as many tanks on the table as you could eat. These off. And the GHQ stuff's quite nice, from what I've seen of it. The best thing to do is just buy both armies, and then you've always got someone to play against at least. But you could provide the armies for someone to play against. Let's have some tank tracks on this one. Many happy memories from triples, indeed. Evening, Andrew. Good to have you on board. Nice to see you. To see you nice. As our main man Brucey says. So those joining us, what are you all painting? See quite a few people coming in. What are you all up to? Attack is fairly small. One could get to see all of it easily in a day, although there are some different games on the second day. Okay, well that's good then. At least they changed stuff over. It must be hard work though for the people putting those games on. Great location near the east of your Rounded Down. Yeah, it's an area I don't really know. First show I went to would have been Selwig, Crystal Palace back in the mid-90s. Painting GHQ Germans at the moment. Finished your Commonwealth yesterday, good. Certainly haven't managed to get to a Wargame show this year. Always seems to be weekends you're busy. Yeah, that's a shame. I hope those Storm Steel dice are rolling sixes for you, Steve. That's all I hope. And I hope the Storm Steel mug is keeping your tea or coffee nice and warm as well. It's a good service, those dice makers. Can't remember what they're called. Andy's doing a wash on your 20mm Napoleonic British. Good stuff. Are they plastic or metal, Andy? The 20mm. So how many different armies do people think they've got? If you could calculate it. Just made me think there, because Andy's doing Napoleonic stuff, and I know he's been doing World War II stuff and various other stuff as well. Different periods. How many different periods do you play? Hopefully it's Yorkshire tea, indeed. Selwig at the Lee Valley Sports Centre in Enfield. Okay. Don't know if I'll get down there. I know Ken the eccentric man goes quite a lot, so he puts games on and stuff, doesn't he? Has anyone tried 20mm Valiant miniatures? Really low for them for skirmish? No, I've not tried them myself. Never even heard of them, I'm afraid. Metal New Line design. You've got Tony's Civil War Museum. They are pretty nice. There you go, Andrew's had some. Too many armies, yet never enough. Welcome to Wargaming. This is the bit I don't like, is the cleaning up after you've taken them off the sprues. The building is fine. The cleaning bit I hate. It's just so monotonous. And you always miss bits. Or stick the knife in your finger. Or both. 20 mils. SHQ. Okay. A 20 mil is a classic scale for the Second World War, isn't it? Or 1/72nd or 1/76 or whatever it is. It's some of the earliest ones that I had are the 1/72nd scale figures. I used to have massive collections of them in plastic. Copy of 1528 20 mils for the World War II Pacific. Thank you. I'm not sure how you'd strengthen them apart from replacing them, I guess. Is the only way to do it. Evening, Charles. Grandpa duties, taking the last 2 days. Well, you know, when you needed, you needed. Best not to mention how many armies I have when your head collects as a wife in the same room. Is she watching as well? I'm working on your 22nd Kings of War army at the moment, only 28 mil. Your coffee man, not tea. If I'd have known that, I would have rigged the results so you couldn't have won it. You should only drink tea out of Storm of Steel mugs. That's what I think. Airfix German throwing a grenades classic. Oh, absolutely. You're on with the Chilean artillery tonight. Good stuff. They need their support. How far off finishing that little project are you, Paul? Or is it just going to be an ongoing thing? A never-ending South American Napoleonic adventure? Oh. I forgot the other day that I bought myself a Tamiya T34, a 1/35th scale one. I was going to build that this week. I decided not to. I'm just trying to clear out the old plastic pile a little bit, as much as I can. So that's why I thought I'll do these instead of you like TBM XP. Old man. You've cleaned and strip mounted your Pendragon Samurai army. Looking for a good quick way to paint them. Any ideas out there? Anybody else? How many end up with the minis for both sides of a campaign period? Yeah, that's what I tried to do. I tried to avoid. I end up with both sides of things, but no, sorry, I don't try to avoid that. I do that specifically. I was just thinking how many people have different scales for the same armies and periods. That's the thing I tried to avoid. Doesn't always work. So I've got the Second World War in 2 mil and 15 mil, and I've got Napoleonic in 6 mil and in 18 mil. So, you know, best laid plans and all that. 10 different periods, both sides, 2 aerial periods, 5 different naval periods, 10 guns and another couple of cavalry regiments. He's done. Excellent. Have you had them on the table, Paul? Or are you going to wait till they're all finished? Or are you just going to look at them and put them in a box and forget about them? That is an option as well. Yeah, it's... God, yeah, this is taking forever. I wish there was a way to speed this bit up. There really isn't. Employ somebody to do it, I suppose. Outsource. I guess that's about the only way to do it. So we got Seven Son about Samurai. Martin, if you're still there, what's your thoughts on Samurai? Not for ACW, depends on the campaign you're mentioning. Approximately 2010 and 12 million binary. Wait till it's all finished and work through the war. Good stuff. Various moderns. As for the SO dice, probably use them for my O group German and my Kings of War dwarves. Good stuff. Do you use different sets of dice for different armies or different games? There was somebody I saw that did that. I can't remember where I saw it. Did a different set of dice for different games. Get some 3D prints. Well, that's the way the hobby is going. It really is. I'd say at least in the next 20 years or so, there's already a sea change around. You're working on both sides for the Wars of the Roses, Warwick, going both ways as well as the Kriegsmarine for Royal Navy Scroll Seas. But yeah, I do it because it's kind of what me and my pals do. We always said, you know, all of us would play any game as long as you don't have to paint anything for it. So it's a case of like, right, I'll get the Germans and the Axis and the Allies for the Second World War, and then we can always play, and you're not always waiting for somebody to finish off either, to finish their army off, because you know what people are like. My mates are the same. They'll get bored of something and go on to something else. There you go, you've got different dice for your armies and custom wound markers. Whatever, man. It's all part of the hobby if it makes you happy. There's nothing wrong with pimping your game. No assembly for 15mm prints. Stop your crazy assembly stuff. Yeah, I enjoy it, Richard. I do like it. So I don't mind. This is part of the hobby as far as I'm concerned. It's never bothered me. You always do both as well, do you, James? Just makes having a game easier, doesn't it? 'Cause otherwise you just sat waiting for somebody else. The pressure is on them to finish off what they're doing. We've got 23 watching, 19 likes. Hit that like button. Those are the 4. Get them likes up. Right. So we've got an Algernon pulls it off battle report at the end of this week. Coming along, another Algae. That's the last for this this period's schedule. So I'm putting together the schedule for August for you all. So look out for that when it appears in the next week or so. Your main interest World War II, so I decided to concentrate on that. And then 15mm so you can use force and terrain. Yeah, there you go. That's sensible thinking right there, Alid. Nothing wrong with that. A man after my own heart. Finishing both is another thing entirely. Well, that's true. If you use the wrong dice for an eye. I suppose at least you can blame the dice, can't you, then, if everything does go wrong. It's an interesting concept. Different dice for different armies. It's funny, some people are funny about dice, aren't they? They were talking about it on PCP the other day about changing dice in the middle of games. It doesn't really bother me either way. It's still just a cube with numbers on it, but some people take it very seriously. As is their right. I'm getting there. I'm getting there with these. What do you say, John? You resemble Rimmerhock. It's like a bunch of flintlock. You'll never get it finished. There you go. Yeah, Flintlock's a game I've never really gotten into. I'm not big into that whole fantasy Napoleonic thing. I did have some figures for it years and years ago, about 20 years ago, when the guys at the club I was at were playing it, but never really was my thing. But each their own. Have any of you tried using testers paints? No. I know of testers, but I've never used them. A lot of people swear by their dull coat for matte varnish. I know that, but I've never used it myself, so I couldn't say either way. Dice have got no memory. Absolutely, dice towers should be banned. Why wasn't we dice towers? Nothing wrong with them. Where's my little doorway? There we are. A little escape hatch. We're getting there. I've got one more to do after this. I'm nearly done. So I'll crack on and I'll at least finish the bodies on them, if nothing else. What are you saying there, James? Dull coat used to be used a lot when it's hard to get in the UK. There you go. Tried tested enamels as a kid. First time round, acrylics much easier. Yes, indeed. Indeed they are. I used to paint with Humbrol enamels when I was a nipper. So I didn't know any better. Some people still swear by them. But I'm an acrylic man all the way. Old style paints, Humbrol style. It seems that way, John, from what others are saying. Like I say, I've never used them, so I don't know. I think it might be a bit too much of a faff if you've got to use a thinner to clean your brushes up. Ugh, covered in bits. Bits of Panzer III. That's the one problem with building stuff. You get so many tiny little pieces of crap everywhere. Testers lacks in matte and enamels, needs ventilation. Yeah, any paint that requires ventilation, I'm not that fussed about using. I'm surprised Tiny hasn't come down and joined me. She was walking all over my table earlier on when I was trying to paint. Good thing is the club, you can provide both sides to all 2 games, have a go at other periods. Yeah, exactly, that's what it's all about. You can't beat Vallejo. No, they're the best, they are consistent. Yes, indeed, I like Vallejo, I swear by them. Sometimes I swear at them, but I still think they're pretty bloody good. You play and collect fantasy and sci-fi in 28mm. You start changing over smaller scales for historical games. Yeah, it's good, cheap way of doing it for historicals. You started out your paints as your 28mm with craft paints. Made a mess and threw them away. Oh, that's a shame. Could have just got some Dettol on them and stripped them. Started again. Yeah. Something wrong with that. There we go. You're on. Maybe that's answer last night's PCP question. What do we do as wargamers? What do we as wargamers have in common? We all inhale way too much enamel fumes as teenagers. Yeah. Yes, fried half our brains, I think. That's very true. We didn't know any difference, and that's what it's all about. We have fun while our brain cells melted. You're looking at collecting plenty of Vallejo. Yeah, I swear by Vallejo. Me, Tony, I've got loads of them. As I say, it's just, you know, they're consistent. I know what I'm getting. I know what colours I need. Just the way it works, isn't it? Bloody hell, come on. We're nearly there. Nearly there on this one. It's because I've used half the glue in this pot, so it's not really coming out. I should just get a different brush instead of the actual one that comes with the glue pot. There you go, I'm going to speed things up by doing that. Get an old crappy brush. Problem is they're all good for what we call it, for dry brushing. I don't know why you've gravitated into there. You will do. Evening, Ian. Just found a box of 6mm buildings tucked away. Does anyone know any building terrain tutorials? 6mm buildings. No, but I've got some terrain tutorials for bigger buildings, and they'll be able to use the exact same, the same things, same techniques. Have a look on the channel. In the US, it's Vallejo. Just bought several pots of Umbro from eBay. Umbro has such an awesome vibe. It speaks to you in the Anglophile. You sat in your bedroom when you was a kid painting model kits with old paints, yeah. Right, let's get this party semi started. There we go. Much quicker. No messing. Put those spare tracks on there. Put a couple of wheels on here. Then I've only got one more to build. That's it. I'm going to leave it at that, I think, for tonight. I'll do these two, but that'll do me. So that's past the time perfectly. Have a look through the back catalogue. Yeah, just have a search on there. There was, yeah, I mean, you know, a building's a building in 6mm or in 15mm. There's very little difference. Weathering powders and florry washers. That's what you need. Well, that's all you need, really. Enjoy painting buildings and terrain. It's probably the modeler in me. Ah dear. Alright, that's those two done. You think the Humbrol enamels and minis are pewter lead content mess with brain? Any specific areas? Yes, for the channel I've got the Algernon Pulls It Off. That's coming on Friday. I was just uploading an old Group 1 that I filmed this weekend, but that won't be out for a couple of months. And then next month there's Chain of Command, and I think an old Group 1, and a couple of building tutorials, I think. Oh no, I've got a building tutorial. There's an old Group AAR, there's a Chain of Command AAR, and how to put together a battalion for old Group video coming. That's all next month, plus anything else that I fancy making. Shorter ones that'll go in between those. Use Vallejo, as easy to get from the two shops that I use. Yeah, you know what you need. Army painting, you're never sure of the colours, just the names they use. Yes, that's always confusing when they call them weird names. I suppose you could argue that the Vallejo ones are weird names as well, but they're relatively straightforward, like, you know, German Field Grey World War II. Kind of know what you're getting with that, don't you? Alright, let's just get this last one done. Too many different types of tanks. Oh, Tiny's moving about. She's sitting up there above me. So I'm surprised she's not crawling all over me at the moment. The Citadel names are changing. Oh, what's we saying? You need to remember to tell your wife, sorry you couldn't grasp the math and spent 2 weeks on plastic. You have the same problem, colourblind, the names do not even indicate what the base colour is, especially GW. Colour is skeleton horde. That's a good point. Do you think I should? Probably. I think I'll stick some stowage on these as well tonight. Again, then they're completed, aren't they? They're done. Well, this part of it is done anyway. The rest will be done down the week. The good thing about tanks is they don't take very long to paint, especially when it's German grey. Nice and easy. Let's just see how we are. What time are we on anyway? Been at it an hour and 10. You better make some space in your table before the cat decides to play with the miniatures. Yes, exactly. She's behaving herself tonight though, Tony. She's having some sleepy time up on the pile of board games behind me. Yeah, this morning she was crawling all over the table, looking for some attention. And right, I think that's enough for those. Let's get these last bits cleaned up. And then we can call that a night, I think. I don't know, are the guys from Modelling for Advantage, are they doing a stream tonight? Not sure if there's one lined up. I can't remember if I saw it on YouTube or not. You've got no cat issues. They stay upstairs and the dog's downstairs. Very uneasy truce. That's kind of the same with my two cats. They give each other a wide berth. Where else we're at? Give me a tank over bully horses any day of the week. 100% agree with that, Andrew. You're not a fan of the horses, are you? That's why you should do 20th century stuff. There's very few horses. Unless you're doing the Germans, of course, in the Second World War. Then it's all 90% horses. No matter what signal shows you. 40 plus years, you're lying on the sofa in the living room painting with acrylic pages. How things have changed. Dog upstairs and cat downstairs. Peace in our time. We used to have a rabbit as well. Well, the cats got on with the rabbit. They enjoyed the rabbit's company more than they did each other's company. She used to let the rabbit run around in the back garden because it's a high walled yard, so she had plenty of space to run about and go mad. I think Tiny was fascinated by her. Bless her. 9:30. Ah, there you go. What time are we on? 8:45. Alright, well, I'll try and finish before then, so I'm not clashing with their stream. And then all you lot can go over there, can't you? Continue the excitement and the entertainment. You can't imagine totally colourblind or red-green. You deal with colour ID and selection. Can friends help? Here we go. Oh, this bit is so annoying. I hate it. Because these little nubs are so small. To get a grip on some of these smaller bits is almost impossible. I suppose it's part of the hobby, isn't it? You just finished setting up for Wily Games Bigger Battles, Orcs and Humans. Good stuff. Good stuff. Don't forget, everybody, if you're not a member, go over and check out the Storm of Steel Facebook group. Charles has just reminded me because I know he posts in there. And post some pictures up of the stuff that you've been doing tonight. If you go and join and you can't get in, I'll let you in after I've finished the stream. Let's go and check it out. See what else is happening. We've got some hobgoblins and goblins to paint and some Irish to build and paint. Right. What a mix, eh? Come on, come on. I can feel it now. I can feel I'm closing in on the last bits of these. This bit is such a pain. And I know I've said it already. The good thing with these German tanks is you can use them pretty much everywhere and anywhere. So these will go all the way from 1940 through to France, all the way through to the Eastern Front, which is good. They're not the DAC ones though. They'll be painted grey. I do have an Instagram account. Mind my fingers. Yeah, don't worry about that, Peter. Yes, I do have an Instagram account. I always forget about it though, and I don't post there very often. But it is, I think it's just Storm of Steel Wargaming. If you have a look in the description of the video below this video, there'll be there's links to all my social media stuff. I think it's in there. Fairly sure I updated it. If it says Abwehrschlacht, then it's the wrong one. It should be I think it's SOS Wargaming. Instagram.sos Wargaming. Go and check it out. But like I say, normally I don't post a lot of stuff in there because I always forget about it. Right, there we go. That was the hard bit over. What software do I use to stream? This is OBS. Which I think is Open Broadcasting System or something like that. You can do it quite easily. It's a free program, you just have to download it. But it requires, because I'm using my Lumix G7 camera, that requires basically an external HDMI box, basically called, which is an Elgato thing. So I run my Lumix through that, but I've just got the laptop. What's it called? The laptop webcam is in front of me. So you're on the webcam right now, and I've got the bigger camera sat up here on a not a tripod, on a bipod thing sticking over the top. But with OBS you can run lots of different outlets into it. Outputs, I guess is the right word. So it's what I use when I'm playing video games as well. You just capture the screen and then just play that, but then also have the webcam on as well. So I've got that. That's another separate capture. And then with this, I've got a microphone over there that's picking you up, or I could be going through the microphone on the camera, but I think that will put it out of sync. So I don't use that. I use the microphone because it's separate. So I've got quite a lot of three different things going into the into OBS at the moment. That's just the way it works. But it's free, and pretty much everybody uses it. So there's plenty of tutorials on YouTube and things if you need to know how to use it. It's worth getting though, but requires this kind of streaming requires quite a heavy system, and I use this for I've got the laptop I bought it specifically for streaming, so it's got quite high specs for the small size of it, but I generally don't use it for anything else really apart from streaming and watching YouTube while I'm painting. You eventually want to have 4 or 5 armies of about 100 figures, and then 4 or 5 of them 60 or 70. You can have variations, that's what you need. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Only a few years away cited when Wargames forums started appearing on the web. It's true that. You're about to start your own channel, okay. Stacking limit. Yeah, I'm not sure what that is, but I'll just say yes. But yeah, it's an easy thing to use. Am I going to Ebor Lard? Yes, I am, Andrew. I've even sent John my money, so I better be going. Yeah, because it's only an hour away from me. It's just straight up the A1. Be silly not to, and it was great last time. So yes, I'll be at Ebor. And you guys are talking about your colour blindness, something I don't know anything about. It must be very strange. Well, I suppose it's not strange because you're used to it. It'd be strange for us to see it, who aren't colourblind. Let's get these stuck in, the little escape hatches. So what do you say? Red and green, but struggle with blues and purples, brown, green. A paint on your own, so difficult to ask for help. The models might look a bit weird to normally sighted people. Hey, as long as they look alright to you, that's the most important thing. Doesn't matter. So I assume you're going up to Ebor Lard, Andrew. Will you be there? If you had not left him, I'd be spent baiting horses. Right, we are getting there, kids. Look at this. I am. I'm gonna push on, and I'm gonna put on some stowage onto these vehicles. I shall do what needs to be done. I feel like I keep putting the wrong side on these. Well, this is the first one. I'm obviously tired and emotional. There we go. There we go. There we go. Oh, excellent. We've got some people coming in. I shall report them. And you can say goodbye. Your figures look weird to me. You're nearly sighted, just terrible painter. Must be a bit of the Star Choose spam bots. Yeah, I think they just target anybody who's live, James. I don't know about it being a star. Have you met any of the guys from Two Fat Lardies group? Yes, yeah. Yes, indeed. I keep taunting Richard and telling him that I'm not going to interview him. He keeps asking me to interview him when I bump into him. So I'm not going to do it. I've literally interviewed everybody around him apart from him. Oh, they're funny. Just to wind him up. No, I will get an interview with him one day. Just not yet. But yeah, I know I've met all of them. Nick and Rich and Sid. They're all nice blokes. Yes, see me there, good stuff. What game choices have you put down, Andrew? I can't even remember. I think I put down Chain of Command. I put down the US Marine Corps one with Rich Clark, in fact. I don't know if I'll get it because I think it'll probably be quite in demand. I can't remember what else I wanted. Right, that's then built. Now, like I said, the next thing to do now is I told them I'm going to swap to playing Bolt Action. Not yet. I will do. Oh well, I'll try to find you over on Storm and Steel Facebook page. You should do a live Q&A with Richard on your channel. Yeah, I could do. I could ask him. He did pop up on a channel last week. I've thought about doing a few. I've done a few interviews with people live and stuff, like Ivan from Nordic Weasel. I did one with Travis as well. If you have a look on the live streams playlist, you'll find those. So yeah, I could do that. I just haven't done any for ages. I don't know why actually. I'm not decided, but I just haven't done them. I should put them in. Should put some in place. The problem is though, if I did it with Richard, I wouldn't be able to monetize it because he'd be swearing too much, and I get a channel strike. But no, I think it'd be interesting. I think people would be interested in it, and I do a lot of Two Fat Lardies games. In fact, it's most of me gaming output these days, so it would be worthwhile. I'll approach him, Tony. I'll ask him. I'll see if he's up for it. Right, like I said, now it's time to do a little bit of stowage. And as I said, this stuff is resin cast from Red Dog UK. So just need to cut some of it out, clean it up, and stick it on. And Bob's your auntie's living lover. So let's do some of these nice big bits. The good thing with the resin is it does actually fall away quite easily. It's easy to work with. So don't have to do a great deal with it. Don't like that bloody plastic. Right, I've got 16 of you watching. How's everybody else getting on? How are your figures coming along, everybody? Anything near completion? People have only ever would only ask Richard about the Far East handbook. When is it coming out? I know that's why I would. You're newly medically retired. Didn't sleep much thanks to Afghanistan and Iraq. To put me on a 24 depth chart for random colour matching questions, can still spy good with one little eye. Good. Rightio. This is always I do like this bit. It's the randomisation that's nice. Slow but steady work on the horses. Good. Slow and steady wins a race. That's what they say, isn't it? Something like that. This is probably one of my longest streams, isn't it? An hour and a half. I'm usually done by about an hour. That's what it's all about. Using it really just to get these done and out of the way. It's just a good way of doing it, I think. Be sure to tell Richard, Tony from Tennessee said hello. I will do next time we see him. I've always wanted to talk to him. It's kind of impossible. Well, we've got the internet these days. It's always easy enough to set up Skype calls and things. But yes, of course, I will pass on your hellos if I do talk to him. Got 30 minutes of work and I've got to cook dinner before you can do any modelling. Well, chores first, John. Chores first. And dinner's more important than wargaming, I would say. You'll be working on some Pico Armor. Yeah, I've got some of the Aussie Osmodolius, or whatever they're called, the guys from Poland who do the 2mm stuff. I haven't got any of the Pico stuff, but I've got the Polish stuff. That's really nice. Incredible how much detail they get on those things. Evening, Steve. A bit late. You're painting British for silver bayonet and some scratch terrain. Good stuff. Big fan of terrain over here. Right. What other stuff do I want? That won't fit, so I don't want that one. I want a nice little one there. All these choices. Get off. Boxes and bags. I've got some civilian vehicles as well that I'm going to make up soon. 3D prints. Make them and paint them. We'll get those painted hopefully over this week. I'll try my best. We'll see. Evening, Jonas. A bit late to the show, but good to have you on board. Don't worry about being late. Nice to have you here. You've just about caught me. I'm not going to be sticking around too long, but sticking around for a little while. Let's do another one of those. Another couple of blanket rolls, I think. Oh, that's a good one there. I think that should be enough. I'll do these. Get these stuck on. And then that'll do. That'll do, pig. Looks like I'm having a bit of trouble with the old stream. Let's see. Right, that's all that lot cleaned up. They're really well detailed, these. I don't know how they've done them, but they are lovely. Now, where's my super glue gone? It says panicking, we're looking around for everything. You're wondering about putting your building on fixed bases? Yes. You've never bothered with the Battlefield and box stuff you were using, but you're not sure about the resin and MDF. Yeah, put them on bases, I do, because you can make a nice little vignette out of it then, and it doesn't look weird when it's just sitting on the tabletop on its own. What I would do is I would get some plastic card and cut the plastic card out just slightly larger than the building, mount the building on it, but also put embossed plastic card on the plastic card, so you can like stones and a courtyard or something around the outside of it, like a little kind of pavement area. There we are, there's a glue. That's what I'd do. Too often people just put their building straight on the tabletop, and it just looks strange, in my opinion. Just having that little border around the outside completely changes the look of the thing. That's what I would say. Right, let's get some of these glued on. And then when these are all dry, I can get these painted. As I said, that's not going to happen tonight. That's going to be a job for the rest of the week. Maybe not tomorrow, because I'm going to the cinema tomorrow. But we'll see. We'll see. Again, if you have a look on the video channel, on the channels on the video, Aled, you'll find a couple of builds of terrain that I've done of building the little houses. If you look on the community tab on the channel, you'll see exactly what I mean. They're just mounted on a. You only need like half a centimetre around the outside of each one of them. You really don't need a massive footprint on them. It's just enough to make them look interesting. Where's that one going to go? Let's put it on you. Oh, maybe not on you. on you. Play on you. That's what I would do. Starting to paint the ground on your little buildings using a craft paint called dark brown. You think you're safe with this one? Yes. Kind of does what it says on the tin. Good stuff. Here we go, there we go. You're on. Oh, I absolutely love Stowage. Love it so much. It's great stuff. Cannot beat it. Connection is choppy. Yeah, I think I've been using up too much bandwidth, I'm afraid. Apologies about that. There's not a great deal I can do. It's because I'm way up in the loft and all I've got is a 2G. I'll see why I shouldn't buy that. Just so I can at least get a better connection up here. Thought it was your dodgy connection. No, Carl, unfortunately it's my dodgy connection. I do apologise about that, folks. Last couple of bits on these, I think. And then we'll be done anyway. It is 10 past 9. I'm going to put the house to bed. Just slip that in there, whatever that is. One more. Why is the practice of edging minifig bases in brown so popular? Seems to have come standard expected practice. It's the 90s. I don't do it. I know some people do it. It's just people like trends, don't they? They like to do something different. And do I need to put any more on any of these? Tell you what, let's get these last bits of couple of fuel cans. I'll be working on some Wargame videos for your channel next month. Good stuff. Yes, folks, pop over and have a look at Tony's channel. While you're here, go and have a look at that stuff. And if you like what you see, give him a subscribe. Some interesting things on there, good videos. Right, that is the last bit, and I think I'm going to leave those at that. And I'm going to leave this stream at that as well, because I think it's getting a bit choppy, a bit dicey. And anyway, 20 more minutes. Jump over to the Modelling for Advantage lads and go and say hello to them. And tell them that I sent you. And I'll leave it at that. So thanks for joining me, everybody. I enjoyed that. I hope you've all enjoyed it. It's been a good one, that one. Have I got space for another? One more thing before I disappear. Just put I've got a spare tank track here, so I'll just get that on. If I can get it back off the super glue. There you go. Done. That's them covered in stowage. That's them ready to be painted. Happy days. Right, everybody, thank you very much for watching. I shall leave it at that tonight, and look out for the next Storm of Steel video, whenever that will be. And good night all. Good night.